Welcome. Today's deep dive into a powerful and fascinating topic, how traditional Okinawan karate and Japanese philosophy can unlock human potential, not just in the dojo, but in every aspect of life. I'm your host, Sean Schroeder. I'm a 6th-degree black belt in Okinawan Shorin-ryu and a 7th-degree black belt in Karate Do, and the operator of Coastal Virginia Karate here at Virginia Beach, where we specialize in training professional adults. Over the years, I've come to realize that karate is more than just physical techniques. It's a blueprint for personal growth, a framework for transforming the body, mind, and your emotions. Today, we're going to connect some of these ancient principles with modern neuroscience, psychology, and practical strategies that you can apply to your own life. As we explore this intersection, I want to apologize in advance if I mispronounce some of the Japanese terms. We're going to dive into concepts like Mushin, Fudoshin, Zanshin, Shuhari, and Kaizen, and I'll do my best to honor the pronunciations, but let's get started because these principles are transformative and I want to explore them with you. When most people think of karate, they imagine punching, kicking, and powerful katas, but at its heart, karate is much more than that. It's a system for personal development, where every movement, every practice session shapes us into more resilient people. At the core of karate are two critical frameworks that we'll dive into today, Shuhari and Kaizen. Shuhari, from imitation to mastery. This framework simply means or describes a journey from learning in 3 stages. Shuhari is broken down into the following 3 words, Shu, Ha, and Ri. The first stage, where you imitate your instructor, follow the rules, and learn the basics. When students come into my dojo, they often feel stiff, awkward, and overly focused to do it right. This is completely natural, and it's how we lay a strong foundation. Ha, the second part of Shuhari. As you advance, you start to break away from the rigid rules, adapting and personalizing your practice. You start to find your own rhythm and Ri. Finally, you transcend the rules altogether. At this point, the techniques are no longer something you consciously think about. They become ingrained in your body and mind. Here's where it gets fascinating. The journey of Shuhari mirrors how our brains learn and adapt through neuroplasticity. At first, you're forming fragile neural connections, but as you continue to practice and repeat, these connections become stronger and more automatic. You eventually reach a point where performing a task feels like second nature. Now let's talk about Kaizen, a Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement. In karate, this is how we approach every class, every technique, every movement. Instead of focusing on grand outcomes, we break things down into incremental improvements. Think of it like sharpening a blade. Each tiny adjustment makes the sword a little sharper, a little more precise. In my dojo, we encourage students to focus on making small incremental changes. By improving stances, refining a movement, or deepening a breath, each of these small steps compound over time into substantial growth. Neuroscience shows that making small improvements triggers a reward system in the brain, releasing dopamine and reinforcing positive behavior. This creates a feedback loop and keeps you motivated and moving forward. It's why Kaizen isn't just a practice for karate, it's a life philosophy. Whether you're in fitness, career development, or relationships, focusing on small, consistent progress leads to big results over time. In addition to these frameworks, karate also teaches us how to cultivate specific mindsets that dramatically enhance our ability to deal with stress, improve focus, and make better decisions. These mindsets are Mushin, Fudoshin, and Zanshin. Each one has profound implications for your personal development, and they're rooted in neuroscience. Let's begin with Mushin, which translates to empty mind. It's the state of mental clarity that we cultivate in karate. In practice, Mushin allows us to perform techniques fluidly and intuitively without overthinking. It's the absence of attachment to thoughts and distractions. In sparring or kata, if you're caught up in your thoughts, you hesitate or misstep. But when you empty your mind, your movements become spontaneous. From the neuroscience perspective, Mushin is linked to the default mode network in the brain, which is responsible for self-referential thinking. When you're quiet, this network, through meditation or activities that induce flow states, you enhance your ability to focus and stay present. Practicing Mushin daily, even for just a few minutes of mindful breathing or simple movements, trains your brain to let go of distractions and remain present. The more you practice it, the more naturally it becomes. The next mindset is Fudoshin, which simply means immovable mind. This is the ability to stay grounded and unshaken in the face of adversity. In karate, this means staying calm and collected, even when facing an opponent who's faster and stronger. But it also applies to everyday life, whether you're dealing with a stressful situation at work or facing an emotional challenge. Fudoshin is the ability to maintain inner peace and poise. Neuroscientifically, this mindset is about training the brain's emotional centers, specifically the amygdala, to respond to stress with resilience rather than reactivity. Through repeated exposure to stressors, followed by reflection and practice, you can build emotional resilience. Anyone can benefit from these mindsets and practices, whether you're in a high-stress job, dealing with personal challenges, or trying to improve your overall well-being. These principles can help you rewire your brain for success. As we wrap up today's conversation, I want to leave you with 3 practical exercises you can try. Cultivate Mushin. Spend 5 minutes a day focusing on your breathing or simple movements. Over time, you'll notice your mind becoming clearer, and you'll find it easier to stay focused in other areas of life. Build Fudoshin. The next time you face a stressful situation, pause and reframe it as an opportunity to grow. By practicing emotional resilience, you'll build the strength to remain unshaken in the face of adversity. Sharpen Zanshin. After completing a task, take a moment to scan your surroundings, reset your focus, and ask yourself what's next. Karate, at its core, is a way to integrate the mind, body, and emotions. Through practice like Mushin, Fudoshin, and Zanshin, we can approach life with clarity and resilience and heightened awareness. Whether in the dojo, in the real world, these principles can help us unlock our full potential. Thank you for exploring the journey with me today. Remember, the path of karate isn't just about mastering techniques. It's about mastering yourself. Keep training, keep growing, and let's see you next time.